Like,
people, deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian. You're right, said there, people. Deluded, I'm back again. I got Hooks in the building. D will be in a sec. He's just having technical difficulties. Make sure you're subscribing to the channels. Everything's in the description. My bro, 11 points behind Liverpool, bro. What are you saying?
boy, first of all, is my sound cool? I'm using a different
You're good,
mic.
though. You're good on my end. It's making me paro. Am I good?
yeah. No, cool. So the one thing that I've been consistent about, is double-digit gap is done out here. Like, I thought single digit. I know we got a game in hand, but I predicted us to draw against Nottingham Forest. So in reality, that game in hand don't even matter, because if we beat Chelsea, like, what is it? Makes it, well, it would, providing things go our way, it would make it 9-10, which is I don't know. I think it's a bit too much in it. You know, obviously nothing's impossible in it, but I think it would make it a bit too much. Like, I don't know if I'll be screaming from the rooftops that it's still possible, but part of me will be hoping deep down that pause, forgot where I was in it, that that they lose like 5 games in a row. But it's the way that they spliffed up City, I can't lie, it's looking very, very troublesome. I can't lie, very, very troublesome.
Bro, it's looking hella troublesome. Like on Sky Sports, I'm seeing biggest points gap overturned. Arsenal did it in 1997-98, where it was 13 points. United overcame a 12-point gap against Norwich in 92-93. They also did it in 95-96. Arsenal also did it in 02-03. So we can't have any optimism, lads. That can be done. I don't believe it can be done, but some would say you got to keep going until it's mathematically impossible.
Yeah. Okay, so I still believe that the players should play and continue to go forward like there is a chance, because bigger points gaps have been overturned, innit? But I just think, as a fan, you gotta like, man, not write it off, but like, I'm already thinking, do we start resting players for the Premier League to make sure everyone's like fully fit for every single Champions League game we go into? Like, do we just throw all our eggs into that basket and just hope, pray, and wish up on a star? Like, that's kind of where I'm at right now. You know what I mean? Like, Saka will be back. You know,
we still thinking Saka's back this season?
And that's what they're saying, innit? That's what they're saying. So, you know what I mean? Like, obviously, if we end up going out in the Champions League, and it's not mathematically possible to overturn the points in the Prem, then I would say just leave Saka to next season. Like,
D, where you at with everything as well, Hooks, man? Hooks, you're right. D, where you at with everything, man? Let's get your thoughts as well, man. We're 11 points behind Liverpool. I'm sure you seen the City game. It's peak.
My camera flickering. Sorry about the technical. I don't know.
It's flickering, man, but we can hear you. It's calm, man. Like, people have seen worse.
I don't know what's going on with it, but yeah, you know what stage I'm at. Yeah, I'm at the leeway stage. So like everyone has, like, you have like a length of like basic. So in my head, I'm looking at Arteta, and he's lost his privileges, isn't it? In my head, and what I mean by that is, like, before, you give people the benefit of doubt because you have faith in what they're doing and what you believe in them as a person. So sometimes they make decisions that you don't understand, but you'll be like, but you know what, it's him, and I feel like he makes good decisions. So beforehand, I was like, I didn't understand the Havertz signing, I didn't understand stuff like that, but I was like, you know what, I give him the benefit of the doubt. You see, now this summer, I remove all of that. You've lost your leeway past. You know what I'm saying? You're now at the stage now. Whatever decision you make, I have to now understand what you're doing. I don't want any, I don't get it, but I believe in you. I don't want any of that. All of that's done. Everything now is at the stage of, if you buy that player, I have to see exactly why. If you buy that player, I have to see exactly why. I now need to see exactly what you mean. You've lost all your privileges and leeway as far as I'm concerned. That's basically where I'm at, because we had an opportunity to sign some players. And when I say that, I mean it to the highest extent, even to the point of players like Sesko. You can't be signing Sesko now. That's not enough for me. You get it? Because that I can't see exactly what you're seeing. So as far as I'm concerned, it's not Arteta out, but you're on basic now. You now have to earn the privileges back. That's how I see
People
it. I
won't
know
get that
you guys know what I mean about that, innit? You kind of get my thought process of if you sign someone, I've got to know exactly why you signed him. I'd rather Ollie Watkins than Sesko, purely because I understand what we're buying.
It's more immediate.
Yeah, you're now on that stage where I need to see what you're doing and why. No more, oh yeah, maybe this and maybe that, or like before you see Partey right back and you don't get it, but then during the game you realize, oh, it's because he wants to overload midfield and he played well when we won the game. None of that, no more of that. That's all done. All of that. Yeah. All of that privileges is all finished. All of that stuff's finished. It's all done.
So how long do we give the man then? I've got to ask a question. Because it's another year where we're going to be doing a lot of explaining. Like we've seen Liverpool down in the dumps. They've won the league. City were bullying it. We was going against a juggernaut. We still haven't done it, innit? So like, when are we gonna? I'm not even like you said. I'm not even saying Mikel Arteta in or out. But it's like, how many years? Considering he's got a 3-year deal, how many years are we gonna? If we keep ending up in this destination, are we like, oh, should we try something else? Because there's some Arsenal fans that, rightly so, will be like, you know what? He's taking us from 8th to 8th. Everyone will want him. You know, we all do content. We all see the rhetoric around it.
Yeah. No, I'm on the stage of this summer. I need to see what you're doing. If I see what you're doing this summer, I'll probably give you. So let's imagine we're in the summer now, and I feel like you signed the right players. Then I'll give you that season and maybe the season after. If you sign the wrong players that I don't understand, I'll give you that season. You understand?
Yeah, no, that's fair.
If you sign players that I don't understand, then you have to show me now. If you sign players that I do understand, like you might get me an Isaac, a Nico Williams, a Zubamendi, and I'll be like, you know what? If we don't win the league, but we bought those players, it can happen.
You showed intention.
You showed intention, and you had the right ideas, and nothing's guaranteed, but it's a sign that I would be impressed with. But I'll give you a couple more for that. But if you go into the season and you start signing all of these type of players that to play their versatility and utility and all of this type of stuff, you better show me utility there and then. You get it? That's where my head's at.
Someone just asked a question. What if Arteta went to City in the summer? How would Arsenal fans feel about it? I don't think that's going to happen, but let's humor that. For me, I would have questions because, like, obviously you've come back to Arsenal. You seem like you're beefing City, even though you got history with it. And then naturally, who would be the manager there? But I don't think it's a non-starter. Where would you, man, be at if he actually did that?
I wouldn't care personally. Like, but it's not. I wouldn't care wherever he went personally. Like, once you leave my club, I don't really care about you anymore as a manager. Like, for me, with players, it's different, innit? Like, when players leave, I don't want them to go to like rivals or like, preferably I don't even really want them to go to teams in the same league as me, innit? But with managers, I can't lie, I don't really care. But you know why I don't care? Because I've never experienced it. The only manager that I've had in my lifetime, he left my club and never managed again, innit? So I've never really had to think about that. Do you know what I mean? Like with Emery, I didn't even want Emery. So when he left, I was happy. And then when he left, he went to a different league, innit? So I've never had to experience a manager leaving my club and going to another club. So I don't know how I'd feel about that. But for me, I'm at the end of my tether, man. I won't lie, I'm at the end of my tether, man. Like, I've been consistent. I said, look, really and truly, I was thinking, you know what, end of last season, really and truly, like, we should have at least started exploring other options. The fact that we didn't, cool. You got another season, cool. You got a new contract, cool. I support the club in it, so I want the best for the club in it. If the club feels like staying with Arteta is the best thing to do, they're smarter than me. You know, they read more data than me. They look into more things than me. Cool, whatever. Now this season, I said I want a major. That's what I said. I said I want a major this season, whether it's the Champions League or the Premier League, innit? I would like to have won the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup. We was really close to the Carabao Cup, but even them cups there wouldn't have stopped me from having the same opinion that I have in it. I feel like if you don't win anything,
You don't think that would have bought him some time?
it may have bought
or some more credit in the bank kind of thing, because we're picking up the little trophies along the way.
For a lot of the fan base, yeah. For the people inside the club, yeah. But for me, like, I feel like it's a bit too late to be picking up the other cups now, innit? Like, you should have been doing that along the way, and then now we should be sitting here being like, cool, you built that winning mentality by picking up these other cups, and now we're winning the big things, innit? But if we don't win a major, then it's like, cool. If I had the power, then I would get rid of you, but I don't have the power. So all I can do is say, like, yeah, I would like us to try something new. But then if people inside the club decide, you know what, it's best for Arteta to stay, then we just go again. We just go again next year. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not one of them men that are gonna sit down on every stream that I do or every conversation that I have with like football fans or Arsenal fans outside of this and be like, yeah, Arteta out, get this guy out, Roddy. I'm not gonna do that, innit? I'm just not that type of person. But I do feel like he's been given a lot of like time that a lot of people wouldn't get. Like, and I now hear it kind of when people say Arteta got all this time, but Emery didn't get this time. And I can't help but think that if Emery got this same time, this same amount of investment, we at least would have won an FA Cup, maybe even a Europa. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, man, I don't know. Like, obviously, it is what it is. The club's always going to do what they think is best for the club. But with the new sporting director coming in, maybe that kind of gives us a new direction. Maybe we go in a new direction. Maybe there's a different transfer strategy. I don't know. Maybe this new brother, whoever he is, comes in. There's some sort of like agreement with like the Cronkays of like how much money will be available to spend. Maybe Arteta has less power in like the type of profiles or players that we bring in, and maybe next season's different in it. But sitting here right now, it's kind of hard to think about all that stuff because I'm still trying to think about how we win something this season, because I still think it's possible. Like, I'm not like one of those.
Let's get your thoughts, man. Let's get your thoughts. Would you like what is still possible? How is it still possible? Like, we're bucking Real Madrid if we beat PSV, assuming we even beat them. 11 points off Liverpool. I want your optimism, Hooks. I'm not gonna lie.
Like, do you know what it is? Yeah, like, I'll be real. I'm less optimistic about the Premier League now, innit? Because when it comes to the Premier League, it's more about what will. It's more about. It's more about
that evening chat, evening.
It's more about it's more about will Liverpool lose games? That's more what it's about with the Premier League, innit? And
11 points, cuz that's
I know.
It's 4-5 games.
Yeah, but like you said, you know, at the start of the show, higher points, the gaps have been.
Yeah, no. It's improbable. It's technically not impossible, I guess.
Yeah. So, but with the Champions League, yeah, it's really about how we turn up on the day. And I still believe that on our day, if we turn up, we can beat most teams across Europe. Yeah, the likes of Atletico Madrid and Real Madrid and Inter Milan and Bayern Munich and maybe even Bayer Leverkusen and Barcelona. It's going to be harder, a lot harder. But I still think on our day, we have enough quality throughout the squad to actually do damage to these teams, especially at home. Like, because look, going to the Bernabeu, if we let's say we go to the Bernabeu, if we go there and we're in deficit, we're losing, then yeah,
that'll be in the second leg as well if we beat PSG.
Yeah, exactly. Well. I mean, second leg we'll be knocked out. So if we can't beat or maintain a draw at the Emirates against an Atletico Madrid or a Real Madrid, and then we go to their ground in the second leg, then yeah, I'm going to be saying we're out the Champions League, because it's mad to think that we can go to Real Madrid and turn it around. But if we go to the Bernabeu already having a lead, like, I still believe in our defense, innit? I think our defense
to that extent, Mbappe, Vinicius, all them, man, and the 12th man at the Bernabeu.
Yeah. Well, at the end of the day, it's like cool. I've only got my opinions in it. Yeah.
No, that's why you're here. Yeah, go on.
And my opinions can't change how good the players play in it. And that's really what it's all about, is like, how much do they want it? Because that's the stage that we're at now. It's like, how much do you want? You now, as an Arsenal player, you have to go out and show me, the fan, and all of us, the fans, that you actually want to win something. Because if we don't win nothing, yeah, we can point blame at Arteta, we can point blame at the Cronkies, we can point blame at Richard Garlick, Tim Lewis, all these lawyers, them man, AO, all of them, man, we can in it. But at the end of the day, it's you, man, on the pitch it's you, man, on the pitch that conceded that goal to West Ham. It's Erdegaard on the pitch that when you should have been running into the center, you're running away to the right. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's you, man, that didn't score. You know, it's none of them, man, it's not Arteta that didn't score. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, the players need to take a bit of accountability for this one and show us that, yeah. Because otherwise, that's where part of my belief comes from. Part of my belief came from the fact that we was 15 games unbeaten in the Premier League. Part of my belief
paper over the crack for you, mans, though. Like, because we've still been, pardon my language, we've been bitching about this. And as you said, prior to the West Ham game, we were 15 without losing. I cry about our defensive outlook. We're up there for clean sheets. I think all three of us, you know, Dio already said and kind of alluded to Isaac, we all want a striker, but we're up there for goals. Like, for you, man, are we paper? Is this all papering over the cracks? Because it seems like, and I'd love to know your man's thoughts on this as well. Why do we kind of crumble when it's sink or swim?
We're not. You know what? Yeah, I'm one of those fans that kind of that I'm analytical in my thinking, and I kind of understand like that not every game, they're not robots. The players are not robots. Arteta's not a robot and stuff like that. But the same way I will look at that Arteta and the players are not robots in one way, it's the same way you have to also get a reality check that they're not robots in the other way. So now I'm looking at it where I'm feeling like, yeah, we can still do it. We're still mathematically possible. We're still in the Champions League. Players can turn up. It's the same way they cannot turn up, which is the same thing that happened against West Ham. Like, the same way we're thinking that you can just beat West Ham because it's at home. It's the same way that you can't beat West Ham and it's at home. It's the same thing. It's two sides of the coin. And we always forget that there's two sides of the coin because we're chasing Liverpool. And because Liverpool dropped points, all of a sudden, that drop points against Aston Villa is a point gained. How does that work? All of a sudden, they've gained a point on us and we've lost to West Ham. If we think we're going to go and beat Bayern Munich and those teams and we can't beat Bayern Munich with our full squad, we're going mad. We played Bayern Munich last year, we lost. We're not beating Bayern Munich. We're not beating Bayern Munich with Trossard and Ranieri and Marino up top. That's not happening.
Well, that's a scary thing.
We might not even beat PSV with those guys up front. We're going too far.
Yeah, you're right about PSV, because I think us Arsenal fans, we're getting in that trap of just assuming, like, we're doing the mathematics about Real Madrid. We need to get through with PSV. You've seen Villarreal, Olympiacos, and I think Sporting Lisbon. Upsets can happen, man. And as you said there, with the players that are fit, with what Hooks is saying, because I do believe that. I think the players, for me, I blame the least, but I don't think my players are turning up. Like, I mean, the captain, bro. Like, bros, like, are we going to be honest about Martin Odegaard? Obviously, it's not a scapegoating thing or any of that, but you've all seen the clips going around. Our captain's not doing nothing, man. Like, what's going on with Donny?
Do you know what? Do you know what's annoying me more about that is, like, I'm a big Martin Odegaard fan, but I think he plays the same way with different players. That annoys me the most. Like, because you've got Ranieri over there and you've got Saka over there, you're just playing it as if to say it's Saka. You should know who you're playing with. Like, one of my uncles, when we used to play, they used to always say the same thing all the time. And one of the statements that when we're on the pitch that we used to always say was, know who you're playing with. He used to say it all the time. You can't give the same pass to Saka that you can give to Martinelli. Because a certain pass, you know what you want a player to do with that ball if you pass it in a certain way. Obviously, right. You know what I'm talking about. So you can't, he should know this. You can't play the same way and the same balls that you play to Saka, that you play to Ranieri, or that you play to... Ranieri's a dribbling player. Saka's a guy that likes to 1-2s and hold the ball. He's a bit more of a retention player. Ranieri needs the ball so he can go one-on-one at the defender. They keep giving him the ball as if to say, yeah, give it back to me. Ranieri doesn't want to give it back to you. He wants to run at his defender. And you need to know, that's what more annoys me about Odegaard. You know this. You know these things. Why you ain't got to start teaching the captain about how to be a captain? He knows all these things, bruv. Play the pass, and he's playing balls, and he's playing passes to players. And I'm thinking, you're playing passes to Trossard that you would play to Saka, thinking it's Saka. What's going on? That's what's annoying me the most. Nothing to do with the way he's playing and stuff, because he's not playing that badly. It's just
You reckon?
I don't think it's not that he's playing so bad. It's that you're playing the same way. That's that you're playing. If Marino's playing up front and Jesus is playing up front, you've got to play completely different.
You got to adapt your team.
You obviously, DG, you're a baller. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm with that.
Means something, innit? You know what I'm saying? You can't give Marino a pass in front of him, 3 yards in front of him to run onto it. He needs a ball to feet. Basics. Yeah. And that's what's annoying me the most about Odegaard, is that you know these things, and it's just like you're doing the same thing. Saka's a big loss, but help the youngster, bruv. You get me? Help him out, bruv. Let him help him. You're not helping anyone. You're not making players better. Like, and
you're
that's
not leading, man.
Yeah, we always compare Odegaard to the best tens or the best attacking midfielders in the world, but the best attacking midfielders in the world and the greats, they not only do they win games, but they take over games.
They took ownership, man.
Yeah, Odegaard's the type of player that he needs to, because his game is not taking over games and winning games, he has to get the best out of players. So when you're not getting the best out of players, you're not doing your job.
Joe, just on that, yeah, too. So under him not realizing that he realizes and just doesn't execute it, playing different with different people. Like, you even saw Wanyeri drift all the way over to the left-hand side against West Ham to get some space, because Odegaard keep on drifting over to that right, was just dragging over players and limiting the space that Wanyeri had in it. So, yeah, I hear you when I think like he just feels like he's always playing. With Saka is different, innit? Because Saka, he's used to that, innit? He's used to like bare man always on him, pause, and like he knows how to handle that, innit? But Wanyeri, he doesn't need all that, man, and it is jarring when you see Odegaard occupy spaces that really Wanyeri should be in. But I think the problem's easy to solve. Like, I just feel we need to play with like a Declan Rice at the base of the midfield and just 2 attacking midfielders. Like, just relying on like Odegaard to be like some sort of creative outlet when
you mean drop Party, you mean?
I mean, like you can, I guess you can. Obviously, I'm thinking more future in it. Like, this season, I don't think anything's gonna change, but I do think going forward, we need to make more use of like Declan Rice in his better position, innit? Like, just leave Declan Rice to worry about sweeping up and defending and being a rock in front of the back 2 in it, and just have like a Wanyeri and an Odegaard in it, like something like that. I'm not saying specifically Wanyeri and Odegaard, but
so you don't buy Zubimendi, basically.
I mean, like, you can buy Zubimendi to have depth, and probably Zubimendi could play the same role. It would just be, you go from having someone that can't really kick off like attacks from deep and is more there from a defensive perspective to a brother that can do a bit of the defensive side of the game, but excels more at like kicking off play and build up and all of that good stuff in it. But because even Partey could play that role as well in it. And you think when you play Odegaard, because Odegaard likes to drop deep anyway, you're always going to have an extra man there to cover if anything does happen in it. So, but I just think we need to Arteta needs to take the handbrake off. Like, you can clearly see that he intentionally put the handbrake on in it, and after every season the handbrakes went down further and further in it. He just needs to take it off. Like, when
he's too conservative, man.
This is the thing, and I feel like I may be wrong. I think it's a trauma thing, innit? I think he's seen what's happened each season and seen us miss out each season, and he's gone, it's because I've been too free, so I need to be less free and I need to be more defensive, in it. But really and truly, if he just releases like the handbrake, Because what's the point of us having as good a defense as we do have if you're not gonna,
if we're not gonna gamble a bit?
Yeah, if you're not gonna like trust in it, if you're not gonna be like, cool, I've set up a really good like goalkeeper and back four. They're all defensively sound. Well, for the most
and
part.
You do have Rice with the legs in the middle as well.
Exactly. Just pull off the handbrake, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, encourage the players to make more riskier plays. Like, I don't mind losing the ball. Yeah, I don't mind losing the ball high up the pitch because someone tried the unthinkable, because I know that my defense is good. Back in the day, like before he came, and even maybe his first season and a bit, I was a bit worried about that because my defense wasn't good. Do you know what I mean? But my defense is good now, so I don't mind losing the ball high up the pitch. And I know more often than not, if we lose the ball high up the pitch, we press so well, we'll either win it back or we'll put ourselves in a position where all of the players that need to be behind the ball are now behind the ball. So, yeah, man, I don't know. It's the one thing that has frustrated me a lot this season is I've identified times in our play where someone could have just shot. They actually could have just shot. And I'm not saying that every time it would have gone in, but you get me? I'm an old man, basic brother. Like, if you don't shoot, you don't score. It's just that simple. Like,
we're a bit like City in that regards, man. We're left and right and left and right. No one it's a lot of jabbing. It's no one trying to go for the knockout bang, if that makes sense. But surely the players are being told to do that by the gaffer.
I think we're overcomplicating everything. I'll be serious.
Exactly.
A lot of the time, there's a lot of overcomplication, and I think we do it as well. Like, not when I say us, I don't mean us three. I mean football fans. I feel like we always trying to find a solution, and if this one's in the 8, or we put Waneri needs to play there. I feel like we need a left wing on the left. We need and we need a striker. Like, we're overcomplicating a lot of stuff. There's a lot of things that would like Saka a lot of the time when he scores his goals, like the goal he scored against, like the first goal against Bayern Munich, or the goal that he scored against, like, was it Nottingham Forest? I think it was. Some of these goals got nothing to do with structure. They're just simple. You manage to get a bit of space and you shot. Now, if we have that type of mentality at striker and left wing, a lot of these games, like against West Ham, a lot of that is just having the right players in the right positions on the pitch. It's as simple as that. If you have a striker on the pitch, a guy that's good on the left wing and a guy that's good on the right wing on the pitch in the right positions, when the ball drops to them in that position, they kind of know what to do without coaching. The striker knows roughly where to be with or without coaching. He knows they're going down the wing and let me get in the box and be in the box. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. That's how I feel, man. I feel like we're overcomplicating a lot of stuff. You understand?
I agree with that, because I'm at that point as well, man. I feel like it's almost like I love that about Mikel Arteta. I love the fact that he over plans and stuff. But like when it comes to the final third, like I don't want to compare Arteta to Wenger, but I do think you have to let the players go out there. And I don't know how you lot feel. Obviously, we've had injuries, but no matter how I feel about needing a striker or a left winger, some of the players we've got, creating chances shouldn't be an issue. And I feel the West Ham game was quite predictable in that Graham Potter back 5. He doesn't want us to cross the ball. I think personally in that game, not that I can, like Hook said, I'm just a football fan, but you either play in the pockets and we're very intricate and free flowing in that regards, or we add width. And I think one thing that annoys me about Arteta is he just dies on his sword, isn't it? Like, this is how I set up. I'm just going to play like this. I know he makes changes every now and again, but it's kind of like we're just resigned. A bit like what we saw with City earlier with Pep. Like, we're just going to play the same way at the same tempo, and it kind of is what it is. And these are the things I need him to change to get to the next level. It's almost like, if you look at last season and this season, it's kind of similar in that, as you can see on screen, in the last 18 games against the top 6, we're unbeaten. But it's the little games we're moving dumb, and it's still the same teams. It's the Newcastles, the Fulhams, the Villas, the West Hams. How do you lot feel about these games? Because surely it's these ones that are the reasons we're not getting over the line.
Do you know what? Yeah, it's a tough one, isn't it? Because we've kind of flipped it and reversed it, innit? Missy Elliott thing. Because before it was the little man things we used to punch up, and when it came to the top 6 teams, we used to get moved to. So look, that's one thing that's good about him. He solved that. I think 18 games is enough of a sample size of data.
Yeah, but that's where the overcomplication thing works. Because when you're playing against the top teams, they're all trying to outdo each other. They're all trying to find one over on each other. That's when I believe you got to try and be clever and play a bit of chess and outwork when you start playing the lower teams and you got better players, let the better players be better. Like
Yeah.
you can't. You're trying to overcomplicate it sometimes, but if you've got the best left winger, one of the best left wingers in the league, and the best right wingers in the league, and one of the best strikers in the league. More often than not, they're going to get the better of their defense. More often than not, when you play the top teams against the Van Dijks and those type of guys, then you need to have a little bit of intricacy and smarts about you to try and get better with them and win. But when you're playing against the lower teams, just let the players just be better than the other team. Wenger used to always say, "Oh, my job is to get you to the final third." Or was it Guardiola? The rest is up to you. That was his saying. Have the same mentality, but Arteta's he's a control freak, isn't it? He's a control freak, and unfortunately, there are better control freaks than him. Guardiola's a better control freak than you, unfortunately. So you can be a control freak as much as you want, but there's better than you at your game, and you need to just let the players be better than the other team sometimes. Like 9 times out of 10, Saka's going to be better than his right back, so just let him be better. I mean, than his left back. Sorry, so just let him be better than the left back. Just simple, really.
Because you know what, yeah? Do you know what I originally thought, yeah? I originally thought that he was being like so into the detail because he was teaching them man a structure, innit? Like, 'cause obviously when you're teaching people new things, yeah, you have to go by the book. Like you have to you have to follow every detail until it's ingrained into, like, I guess your natural behavior, so you understand it to a certain level. Then you can start breaking free because you understand at a basic level what's expected of you in it, and then that's when you can start to like experiment and express and be free. And that's what I expected to see on the pitch this season, because he's done a lot of over management over the years he's been here, like a lot of over management. And it's crazy because, you know, at this point, you still see him on the touchline, yeah, over managing. And maybe that's starting to have a bit of maybe that's now to a detriment because you have more senior players on the pitch and players that have been with you more now. So it's like, raw, how are you still trying to coach me like this is under 15s? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, they're probably always on edge because whenever he's on the touchline shouting, they're probably thinking, raw, I'm doing something wrong. And that puts nerves in you. That makes you second guess yourself. So I do
think that happened with Fabio Vieira to a degree. I remember when I used to go to the Emirates, he'd be absolutely laying into him for his defensive work. So you got something there, Hooks.
Yeah, man. It's like, just like, look, I don't think you're a bad manager. Quite the opposite. I think you're a good manager. But I feel like you yourself are holding yourself back from becoming a great manager by not just trusting in your players a bit more, in it. Do you know what I mean? Like, just trust in them. Like, just trust in your process. Trust in your
that process word, man. Don't say that on the street, man.
But yeah, no, but trust. You got to trust in you designed the process. This is your process. Trust in the fruits of that process, and just let the players do what they think that they have to do that you've told them. Do you know what I mean? Like, what's the point of like going into like mad detail on the training ground, mad detail in like your meetings you have with the players, your match reviews and all of that, like going into super detail for them to get to the pitch, yeah, and overloading them with more detail. Just let the footballers be there, like TK, let the footballers be footballers. Do you know what I mean? Let the footballers be footballers, because then we can judge properly. I don't feel like I can judge properly right now because you're too involved. And now you're making me not like you. You're doing that. You're making me not like you because I liked you. You're making me not like you. But you don't need to do all the things that you're doing to make me not like you. You don't have to do. So maybe it's your inexperience. Maybe your inexperience is making you believe that you have to go to these lengths. Maybe that's what it is.
Is it really an experience though? Because like obviously we all know he's just started being a manager and whatnot, but he's got transferable experience from the City days. I think in life, you're like someone could tell you not to put your hand in fire, innit? Like your mum and dad could say, "Don't put your hand in fire." You still you listen to them, or if they say, "Don't put your hand in fire," you don't listen. You put your hand in the fire. Obviously, it burns. You know, don't do that again. In the last 3 years, do you not think there's been enough self-taught mistakes that he could have learned from? Like, surely he's experienced enough to kind of us not to have these same old conversations about strikers, about taking off the handbrake, and really just a small minor things that are not getting us to where us three and everybody wants, man.
Yeah, I think so. I feel like you're always gonna feel like, are you not learning enough? But I feel like, are we saying that because we're not winning? Is that the reason we're saying that? That's what I'm saying. So if he had say, let's imagine we was in the Carabao Cup final, but we hadn't played it yet because obviously it hasn't been played. Would we still be saying the same thing if we lost to West Ham?
True. I genuinely think he's got an issue getting over the line. I think that's shown in like the games where we must win. And I know I could take it out of context, but I do think there is something to be said with, you know, you've got 3 title challenges now that you failed, all the cup games. Yeah, you've won the FA Cup, but FA Cup, all the finals and semi-finals, all of that. I do think there's an issue with him getting over the line. Like I'm sure you lot see it as well. Some fans say Arteta is a title winning manager. I might be being naive, but I don't think you can be called that until you've actually done it. Like you haven't done it. Maybe I'm naive. And it feels like we got something here, but he's just shooting himself in the foot.
I agree with that. I agree. You can't. I don't feel like you can be given that title unless you've done it. But I feel like his first, because we know it's his first job. So I know it's 5 years, but it's his first 5 years ever as a manager. I feel like if you was an owner looking at it, you would look at him like, one, you've done an incredible job, but two, you are showing. Like if we look at, he is basically the Ethan Winieri and the Lamine Yamal of the manager world, technically. Because
slightly, yeah, I get what you say. Yeah, he's seen as the golden one, the generational one, and that.
What I'm saying, because you actually have taken a big club, overturned it, got them challenging. First time you're managing. So if you look at all of those, you're the young superstar manager that hasn't won anything yet. You're like basically like Winieri or Saka, technically. You know
everyone's waiting for you to actually do something.
Everyone's waiting for you to achieve it, and we all want you to do it. But unfortunately for you, you're at a club where the fan base are used to winning. They're used to having the Guardiolas. They used to have. We had Wenger. We had Bruce Rioch. We had those George Grahams. We're used to winning. It's just unfortunate that you're not at a Bournemouth. You know what I'm saying? It's just an unfortunate situation. It's the same for Saka. It's the same for Saka. It's the same for Saliba. It's the same for Gabriel. It's just unfortunate that you guys are at Arsenal where we're used to winning, because at some point you're going to be the problem as well. People like to say, "Oh, Saka's going to leave because he hasn't won trophies." Well, win us a trophy then.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
You're playing. It's not like, oh yeah, Saka's the best player in the pitch, so he's going to leave us because he's too good for Arsenal. Well, you're part of Arsenal. Saliba, are you going to go Real Madrid because you're not winning trophies? You're there. You are playing. You can win. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
yeah, point.
That's kind of how I see it. Like, you guys can choose to make these decisions. Not like it's so easy, but I mean, you're part of the reason why we're not winning. I don't think you're exempt from all of this. You're all new. You're all young. As far as we've got inexperienced owners in the Premier League, because they just come in and just started owning. They've never done that before. Inexperienced manager, first time ever. Inexperienced players, first time ever. They're all growing. It's like everything's an experience. Like our goalkeeper's the first time. First time our goalkeeper came from Brentford.
Sporting director as well. Even the new Don, if he is the new Don.
No, everyone's an experience in our club from all the way through. The only people that are not inexperienced are the fans.
It's a madness when you put it like that, you know. Like, is it a fallacy then? Like, because like obviously we've spoken about the players, we've spoken about Arteta. Now, I don't think I can just sit here and blame the Cronkies, but you know, we've had Wenger, we've had Emery, we've got Arteta, we haven't got over the line. Not everybody's happy with the ownerships. You can say they've spent peas, but where do you lot stand on the ownership? Like, do you think our success is always going to be capped, if it is going to be capped with these lot?
I think so. It's a weird one, isn't it? I don't know. It's a weird one, isn't it? Because under the Cronkies, the first part I understand, in it, because when they didn't have full ownership, I understand them not wanting to invest their peas into the club, in it, because they don't want to make her next brother peas in it. Do you know what I mean? I can understand that from business. A lot of the stuff that they do, I can understand from a business perspective in it. And then a lot of the stuff that they do, I've sort of come to the kind of, I've accepted that this is just how they run their franchises. Like, this is like, if you look across all their franchises, they usually invest in like someone at the helm who they put a lot of faith in, and they're real patient about when they win their majors. And they usually have like a big iconic player that's sort of like side by side with the manager, and usually that's how they go on. They're super patient, like they play for the long game, the super long game. So I feel like you can blame the Kroenkes for that, but you're probably super vexed as an Arsenal fan because you don't understand that about the Kroenkes and you're not willing to accept that, which is fine. You don't have to accept that. But I think the one thing that Arsenal fans do, well, not on the whole, I see it a lot more now on the internet, is that they forget that we haven't, like, when we have never in our history been Real Madrid. Like, we have never in our history been Chelsea. We've never been a club that's like, cool, we're going to win something today, and if we don't win today, we're going to burn everything to the ground and start again. Like,
should we start moving like that?
See, now this is the thing, innit? Like, because it all depends, right? Because I don't support Arsenal because we won trophies. Because I supported Arsenal before we won trophies. Do you know what I mean?
You fell in love with the club.
Yeah,
the trophies is a bonus, like, it is what it is.
I'll be so real, yeah. I'll be so real because look, it depends, innit? Because like, look, I started watching football from a very, very young age, yeah. So when I was first watching football, I wasn't thinking, yeah, we need to win the league this season, or yeah, we need to win a trophy, or yeah, we have to win this FA Cup, or yada yada yada. I was just like, oh my god, I can't wait to the weekend and I get to watch Dennis Bergkamp on TV, and I get to watch Henry on TV, and I get to watch Vieira and Adams on TV. And do you know what I mean? Like, it was, for me, it was more about the players, innit? I'll be so real. It was so much more about the players. And I just feel like,
naturally, you're a young lad.
But then that's kind of like, obviously, as I've grown now, and I'm now more, especially now, because even if we was to go back like 4, 5, 6 years, yeah, I wasn't having the same sort of conversations about football that I was having now, that I'm having now, or to a degree kind of forced to have now, because I'm talking about football every day online, where I'm forced to listen to other people's opinions and their perspectives. So now it's like I'm challenging myself against them, innit? But more often than not, when I just sit down and I'm just talking about football, I'm some super calm guy when it comes to football, you know? Like, I really want to win a trophy. Like, I really, really want to win a trophy. But
we see the YouTube shorts. I don't know if you're a super calm guy. We see you moving charge, man.
No, but you know what the thing is, yeah? All right, do you know what, yeah? Just on the shorts thing, yeah? Do you know what I clocked? Yeah? Do you know what I clocked? When I'm balanced, yeah, and calm, yeah, on my shorts, nobody watches them. People don't want to see calm hooks. People want to see the hype.
Game's a game.
Do you know what I mean? People want to see the hype, and it's cool because I can do that, because I can charge up. Like, I can say I can say the same things that I believe, but just as I can say it in a more hype way. Like, I can change the lingo a bit and make it more appealing to people that are watching on their phones, innit? I can do that, innit? But then when I do that, everybody gets upset. And then I'm looking at the comments and bare people are slewing me. And it's like, raw. But by the way, it doesn't matter what I said, because the Arsenal were going to lose to West Ham anyway. Do you know what I mean? Like, what I said, that has no impact on what West Ham did in it. It's not like all the West Ham players, well, if they was, big them up. The West Ham players weren't watching my short and like, raw, who
we lost on your birthday, man. They shagged you.
You know what I mean? Like, you get it? So
it's your fault.
But to go back to the point, like, the one thing that I need to see from the Kroenkes going forward now is quickness. That's what I need to see now, quickness. So when it comes to we know what we we know as a fan base what we need to do. We assume that we're sort of aligned to the establishment. Cool. So as soon as that transfer window opens in the summer, yeah. Breaking news: Arsenal agree deal with Real Sociedad for Zubamendi. Like day one. Do you get it? Not none of this spending 7 weeks to sign Moreno. Do you get what I'm saying? Like we need to see quickness. Cool. We all know we need a striker. We didn't make it happen in January. We assume it didn't happen in January because they're more confident about
they're keeping the powder dry and all of that for the summer, man.
Exactly, for the summer. So go and make it happen in the summer with quickness. So all the players that we need are available to us real early, and they get a full preseason, and everybody's ready to go from when the new season kicks off. Do you know what I'm saying? That's just my thing, innit? So yeah.
Are you man confident about that though?
I feel like this summer, I feel like we potentially could, but I'm not so more confident. I'm not worried so much about the money we'll spend. I know we'll spend money, but my thing is more about who we buy. Now it makes sense to have bought Rashford in January now, doesn't it?
Because well, we ain't got no bodies. Like we literally ain't got no bodies. Look who we got up front.
It makes sense all of a sudden.
We was desperate. We needed to do something.
We needed to have done something. Like, and unfortunately, what the Kroenkes have done is, and not just the Kroenkes, Arteta as well, because he's the one who decided not to replace Havertz, and so it's him as well. It's all of them together. Unfortunately, they've looked at the team and thought, okay, we'll focus on the summer, forgetting that we're in a title race in the Champions League now. So what does that mean? Should we all of us, cancel our subscriptions and wait till the summer, or should we not go to games because you don't want to do it until the summer? Like, you know what I mean? Like, why are we supporting the team now if you're not going to try and win now?
You're trying to write off what's left of the season if you're talking about the summer. For me, anyways,
it goes hand in hand. So my thing is, if you choose not to invest now, then you should reduce the season ticket prices, isn't it?
We'll just be crystal clear and honest with us, man.
But in theory, it goes hand in hand. Those things go hand in hand. We're not going to throw money at it right now. We're going to focus on next season. Okay, cool. But what we're going to do is everyone's going to go to games for a lot cheaper for £20 now. That makes sense to everyone.
Some of the most expensive tickets in the league, to be fair.
Expensive tickets in Europe.
Yeah. Even that, yeah. And merch every week.
What? Like, it's not like I can understand if you're like, it's not just that. It's Arsenal. Like, if you want to watch football, it's not just about the Kroenkes. I'm like, if you want to watch football, you have to buy Sky. You also have to buy TNT. You got to buy Amazon Prime. You have to buy one of the other programs that they wanted to put it on. Sometimes you can't watch no 3 o'clock games. So we're watching all of these. We're buying all of these things. So if you want to sit at home, you have to pay £100 a month. If you want to go to games, you got to pay 180 sometimes. Sometimes 120, 140, depending on where you're sitting and stuff like that. This is what you got to do.
Depending on the game as well and the opponent.
Like, the game. And then you want to come and tell us we know we're in a title race. We know we're in the Champions League that we've never won before, because we've never won the Champions League before. So you get it. So now you're in the Champions League latter stages. Whoa, you're in the Champions League latter stages, bruv. Here, take that. Go and win it, my guys. You lot, go do your thing. You got that far. Yeah, with this squad. Say no more. Here's this money. Go and get some players and go and win this for the first time.
That's why I thought we'd sign someone in Jan still, because of that logic that you're alluding to.
We've never won the Champions League ever in our history. And now you're telling me we're going to go into against PSV. We're playing Trossard, Marino, and Waneri, bro.
Assuming they're all fit enough by the time that game rocks around, Ethan come off looking injured or had a cramp or something, we hope he's cool. It's a fallacy, man. But then does that not tell you, the ambitions of the owners, because they didn't actually do that? So is it a thing where like Arteta's just left to do things, and if he succeeds, he succeeds. If he doesn't, he doesn't? Because to me, it looked like there was more money and more things spent when top 4 was in a formality. I can't say we haven't spent money, because obviously Havertz and Rice, but it feels like to me, as soon as we've got in the top 4, we're kind of complacent. Like we all know the summer we had. We all just spoke about the January we had. It seems like they're indirectly telling me to curb my ambitions.
That's exact, and that's the worst thing about it. That the fact that you're feeling like that is the problem. Not the fact that it is that. It's the fact that you think that it's that is the problem. If somebody has no faith in you, that's actually worse than actually you failing. You get it? You can fail, but I had faith in you. That's cool. But you actually having no faith in me is worse, because it shows me your full process about me.
I'm disillusioned.
Is that my bedroom? Izzy went to West Ham trials in boots because he's not football boots in high school boots because his mum had no money. When he started playing football and realizing how good he was, she struggled to go and get the money to buy boots because she thought, hold on, you got that far, let me go and put the extra bit to try my best to.
I can see the angle. You got a chance here.
See where you're going with this. Do you get it? That's what they should be doing with Arteta with that angle. You see Arteta, you see in the latter stages, you finish third in the Champions League, you're getting through. Well, let's push for this. But what have you decided to do? Oh, let's wait till the summer.
Because top four is a promise. Like they're gonna get it. They don't care no more, man. For me, anyways.
Yeah. What is the but the Arsenal fan base will also at some point not care, and that not care turns into grumblings, like we know, and those grumblings turn into noise online, and those noise online turns into planning to protest and banners and aeroplanes over the stadium.
People are walking out against West Ham, so they're starting to see it.
That's what happens. These little grumblings, you have to nip these things in the bud, you know. You know what it's like when you're in real life and you hear one or two little things behind the scenes. You got to curb that early doors. These men are letting it
like a virus. It just gets bigger and bigger.
Yeah, and one thing they should be doing is watching us man online to see what the people really think. They should be watching this. They should have a designated person to go online and watch all of these type of streams to see what are they really thinking on
what's the sentiment.
What's the sentiment? What we feeling like? What's going on without us having to speak to them? That's what they should be doing. They should be online. You know, certain people have got social media people that they have out there nowadays, and a lot of Twitter accounts and stuff. They should have a person online feeling like, let me listen to all of these things and see what the angle that people are feeling like to curb some of these grumblings. What's going on? Man, they're not curbing anything. All they're doing is bringing out a new jacket
every week, and it's wavy as well. Like I wish I could buy it and support it, but I don't feel aligned with this because I'm giving myself a headache.
Bro, bringing out a new jacket, the timing of that is so bad. Like I can't explain how bad bringing out a new jacket is. Yeah.
Consistently as well.
I can't explain how that is. It's good that my guy that's always at the games gets his little bit of limelight, but that's got to be done at the beginning of the season, bro. Like it can't be done in January when we're looking to sign players. We don't want to be buying no jackets from you, unfortunately. It's just we're not on all that right now. That's
you want to see someone wearing the number 14 shirt, man.
We know just your jacket and it's your style, but unfortunately, the timing's wrong.
Very wrong.
The timing's terrible. Very, very and Jesus got injured in the window. When he got injured, we were still in the FA Cup. We were still in the FA Cup. When Saka got injured, it was before the window.
Yeah.
So so you got two players that got injured, like basically within enough time. So what was the issue? If you say, we couldn't find any players that were of the right caliber, so what you're saying, Marino up front is the right caliber then?
This is what I'm saying. Like, you're not trusting the academy boys, whether they're good enough or not. You're playing Marino up front. I think it's a cop-out, bro, because we keep hearing this about how we need special players and players with X factors and things like that. It's jarring. It feels like Arsenal's a cult. I'll be real. It's like we always go around like that. We'll thump up some top 6 sides. We'll fight for a league. We're getting to that point where indirectly all 3 of us are doing it next season. Where are we going to be at? And then the cycle continues, man. I don't feel they care about as much as they care as much as us. I think the manager does. I think the players do. It's more how they're going about it. David, one love for the super chat. I've been boying you. Big up DG and the panel. Thanks for the stream yesterday. It was a disgrace and heartbreaking. It's all on the manager for me. The board backed him. We are not playing to our strengths. That's on him. Much love from Ireland. Where do you lot stand on the board backing Arteta though? One love, David. But where do you lot stand on it? Because we're all saying this. They could sit around and say, lads, we've let him buy left backs galore. We've let him buy centre backs galore. We've let him do this, rip up contracts. That we've broken our own transfer record. Is it really fair to say that they're not backing him now?
They backed him all the way, man.
Yeah.
They backed him all the way. They backed him 110%. You know what I'm saying? Furthermore, they've backed him so much. Is the reason why they didn't give him money in January, because unfortunately, Fabio Vieira was a failure. That's £40 million.
We didn't even recall him.
Lokonga is a failure. What's his name? Tavares was a failure.
Yeah.
What was the other? Jesus has been a failure. This is upwards of 150, 200 million pounds.
Oh, has he now?
Has who? Has he now what?
Oh, has he now? Jesus has been a failure now, yeah.
This guy.
Bro, you weren't saying that
I don't
yesterday.
understand what you're saying.
Nah, you're
Nah, he's indirecting me. He's indirecting me, man. Because I used to back. Like, it's it's a crime to back
he's
your players.
directing you. Oh.
Yeah. It's a crime to back Gabriel Jesus.
No, DG, weren't you there when you were telling me yesterday, bro? On my
What,
stream
what?
yesterday, bro, he was back in
Yeah, Jesus, boy, he was turning his form around, bro. He got injured, fam.
You know,
He got injured, cuz. He got
raised our
injured.
level, but now he's a failure.
Yeah, bro. After
Dream,
his first 6 months, it ain't been the same, innit? Like, he has failed, man. He stagnated. Like, and that's another thing as well. Now, banter aside, you're right about that, Hooks, but that's where I knew we weren't serious. Yeah, for whatever reason, I believe when Zinni and Jesus signed for us, they're a breath of fresh air. Like, they were good for us. But you see, once it became clear we needed to upgrade, like, it felt, maybe I'm wrong, but it felt like the next season we kind of moved past them. They could be squad players. We didn't do it. And that's where I look at maybe Arteta's naivety, but also like, bro, if you own a company, everything's your fault, you know. Like, if you man own the company, like if Hooks owns the company and me and D are fucking about, it's not Hooks' fault directly, but indirectly it is. You've allowed us to do foolishness. So I think where it comes to Arteta, there's either everything's his fault or like he's absolved of everything. Like, even when people come out and say, you really think Arteta didn't want to sign players? If you didn't want to sign players, it's because you obviously fumbled whatever little budget you had in the summer. Now, whether the Cronkies are investing enough and we're happy with them, clearly not. And that's another story. But I think Arteta, a lot of the things we're talking about, he's too far in his tenure for these to be a thing, for me personally.
Yeah, I do hear what you're saying.
It's
jarring. I feel like maybe as Arsenal fans as well, like we have a real like warped kind of perspective on how the ins and outs of our club actually work, because early on in Arteta's career we had the All or Nothing documentary in it, so we actually got to see like what he was like behind the scenes. We got to see like the message he was trying to get across. We got to see how the likes of Josh Kroenke interacted with him, and I think
Aubameyang thing as well.
Yeah, then I think that documentary actually, I feel like it's a double-edged sword, where it kind of gave us insight into the character of Arteta and how he is as like an up-and-coming manager. It also made a lot of the fan base assume that the board have given him 100% power because of how Josh Kroenke behaved with him in that documentary. And then so then you go, okay, in that documentary, you see how he handled Arteta on that mad dip, that mad decline that we had, and how they still, you know, had faith in him, and he sat down with him and was like, yeah, cool, we see the vision and all of that. That kind of then what came after that, it just made everyone assume that Arteta has like this all power in the club. So now people put all of that on Arteta instead of having a more balanced view and going, it's a combination of things. Because we got a lot of men in high positions in our club that don't know anything about football. I'm sure that has a lot to do with why things are not going in the right direction. Like, you need to have men that know about football inside your club.
Facts.
Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, I do think, yeah, that, like, look, this is my stance, innit? If you don't like the Kroenkes, if you don't like what Arsenal are doing right now and all of that stuff, don't chat about it online. Let's go outside the stadium.
Is the protesting a hype though, Hooks, though, man? Because I don't think it can work, fam.
Bro, by the DG, you see when the Super League thing happened, yeah? I went outside the stadium, bro. Hella man outside there, smoke bombs going off, bare chants, bro, bare feds around, bro. You got the helicopter in the sky, news camera, raw. Look what's happening outside the Emirates, bro. Immediately, Kroenkes went, nah, cool, safe, we're not involved. Because the public image, bro, it immediately affected. They went, oh, this public image is mad. It's going to affect the accounts. All right, say no more. We heard that's the quickest we've ever seen the Kroenkes move. Yeah. So I'm a believer that protests can help. They're not always going to help, because there's loads of people that have protested and it's.
But what are we protesting for, though? It depends what you're protesting for.
No, but this is what I'm saying. Like, I'm saying, if people got a problem with the club as it is right now, if people don't like the model, if people don't like the ownership, if people don't like the way that we run, yada, 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 whatever it may be, don't chat about it online. go and protest.
Yeah, but it depends what you're protesting for.
Obviously, it depends what you're protesting for. But what I'm saying is,
they're not going to. If you're protesting to get them out the club, they're not going to sell their club because there's protests.
Well,
if you're protesting to come out the Super League, it's a different protest, isn't it?
Yeah, I hear it. I do hear it. But for example, yeah, we don't actually know if more Arsenal fans turn up to a Kroenke out protest after a game, that they won't respond to that in some way, shape, or form. It may not, their response may not be, we sell the club, but the response may be, okay, Arsenal team, start filtering through all of the online discourse and start figuring out what the actual real issues that fans have with the club, and then we'll start working towards a plan to address them, innit? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, you don't.
If you go to protest, what's your aim? Because everyone's got different. When you protest, you have to have.
Yeah, everyone's got a different aim. I can't like look. What I'm saying is cool. Me, someone who I don't at this present moment in time, I don't really mind if the Kroenkes stay or if the Kroenkes leave. I don't really care if Arteta stays or Arteta leaves. I don't really care if all of the board stay or leave in it. I don't really have a dog in the fight in it. All I want is my club to do better. I don't know what the answer to that is. But if there's people out there that are real passionate about, they want this specific change and they're like, cool, I'm going to go protest, I will go, because even though I don't have a dog in the fight, I want better for my club. And if you feel like the protest will amount to something better, I want to be part of the change that makes Arsenal a better football club. That's just the way that I am in it. Like, truth be told, I knew that we wasn't going to go into no Super League. But I wanted to be part. I wanted to be part of the effort that contributed to the change. Do you get what I'm saying?
Protesting. When you protest, you got to protest with the aim of. Yeah, you need to know what it is you're protesting for and what you want to come of it, innit? And a lot of the time, the reason why people protest is because there's one singular goal. You're saying to just protest for change. That's too broad. And not only is that too broad, that doesn't help the team either. So when you're protesting at games or after games, you're then not supporting the team at the same time as when you're protesting.
I hear it, but the thing is, yeah, like you could just protest for the you know what? You could just protest for the very reason that they fell short on their promise. You could just protest for that. They promised us as Arsenal fans that we're building the Emirates to compete with the likes of Real Madrid and Bayern Munich.
This is them. That was Wenger. That wasn't them.
Bro, but Wenger was the mouthpiece for who?
No, Wenger. No. That's not what happened. Wenger wanted a new stadium because he wanted to compete with the big boys.
And we had David Dean them times as well with a bit of vision.
David Dean, don't forget David Dean left because he wanted Usmanov and them guys to come in. David Dean wanted to go the way of rich owners.
Yeah, but Arsenal didn't build a stadium because Wenger said he wanted a bigger stadium.
No, but I'm saying the point I'm making
is, you know what I mean? Like, Wenger was whether we like it or not, Wenger was the mouthpiece of at that point, the mouthpiece of the ownership. I know that the Kroenkes weren't full owners at that time.
He wasn't. Wenger wasn't. Wenger was the sole. Was the sole more or less. No one's had to say.
Wenger was the mouth.
Wenger was the sporting director. He was the manager. He was the coach.
And
he was everything.
I need you to understand that Wenger was the mouthpiece for the owners.
No, he wasn't.
Like the last maybe 10 to 12 years of, maybe even longer, of his tenure at Arsenal. Nobody defended the owners more than Wenger, bro. Wenger never called out the owners. Not once did Wenger ever call out the owners.
But what owners are you talking about?
Bro, okay. Wenger was there when there was. Are
you talking about David Dean, or are you talking about who you talking about
when Usmanov and the Kroenkes came in? That's what I'm talking about. And Usmanov and the Kroenkes became part of the ownership. Obviously, I don't know how how it all works in the boardroom and all that because I'm not into it. But by the way, Wenger always prioritized defending the ownership over being honest with the fans. He's actually become a lot more honest with the fans after leaving Arsenal. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm not sure what point you're making though.
What I said, he was. I'm saying that's something that we could protest about. We was told as Arsenal fans, we're moving to the Emirates to compete with the likes of Real Madrid and Bayern Munich. We've gone through
his famous words.
Yeah, we've gone through many years of not being able to compete in the market because we had to pay off the debt that we accrued through building the new stadium. But once we get to the end of that, we're going to be in a position where we are able to compete with Real Madrid and Bayern Munich. That we still are not competing with Real Madrid and Bayern Munich. How many years ago did we build the Emirates?
Yeah, but I know that. But what I'm saying is,
so I'm giving you a reason. You said, give me something that people can protest about. That is a very specific thing that they can protest about.
It's not specific. It's too broad. Because you're saying, let's go to the stadium and protest because we're not competing with Real Madrid and Bayern Munich. Is basically what you're saying. And I'm saying,
they failed to deliver on a promise.
You don't just protest without an end goal. What's the end goal?
The end goal, it could be a variety of things. The end goal could be a change in the way the ownership approaches managing the club. That could be part of the protest. End goal of the protest could be we don't believe that we have a manager who can take us to that promised land. We want a new manager instated. The end goal of the protest could be, you know what, we actually want the Kroenkes out, and we're going to keep on staging sit-ins or walking out the ground early, or season ticket holders are not gonna go to the stadium anymore, but they're not gonna sell their tickets either. So there's empty seats in the stadium. People aren't gonna buy tickets online, so the club loses money, all for the goal of trying to encourage the Kroenkes to sell up. Like, there's not saying that they will, but that could be another end goal. There could be a variety of end goals.
That's not what protests are for. That's not what protests are for.
Would you no, protests are for making a change. Every protest that has happened in the world, whether football related or non-football related, has been to make a change.
And they got the same goal. You're saying
not everyone that goes to a protest has the same goal, by the way. And that's something that is very difficult to prove as well. Not every human that goes to the protest will have the same end goal. Some people may feel that there's things that they want to change about their club or any specific ism or schism in the world, and they're like, oh, this protest is happening, I want something to change about XYZ. It doesn't really unite with what the main purpose is, but I'm still going to go to be part of the positive change.
But it doesn't, bro, you keep saying the same thing. And my point is, when they went to protest for the Super League, the whole point was they didn't want to be in the Super League, isn't it? So that's the end goal. The end goal is to come out of the Super League, right?
Yeah, okay, they want the Kroenkes out. There you go. That's my point. So right. I said this about 10 minutes ago, and you went in a whole...
I think you're complaining. Both of you are right, but I think it's chalk and cheese right now.
I said to him ages ago, if it was for Kroenkes out, I'm saying if you want them protesting for Kroenkes out, they're not going to sell their shares for that. So that's Kroenkes out is not going to work.
But you don't know that. You don't know that, though.
I know that. I do know that. Because they wouldn't have spent all this money
to
buy the club to worry about fans protesting to then say, okay, I'm going to sell the club because fans are protesting.
Yeah, but the thing is, the fans may be protesting for Kroenke out, but it's not actually just wanting the Kroenkes out. They want a change in behavior from the ownership. So yes, the Kroenkes may not go out, but the protests may have enough damage or may do enough damage to their reputation or their finances that they start to operate in a way more akin to what the fans want. So you can't say to a fan, you can't go to a protest for Kroenke out because the Kroenkes are never going to leave, because that might not be the result of the protest. The result of the protest may be the Kroenke start behaving how the fans want an ownership to behave.
The fans want different things, Hawks. That's the point I'm making.
I know. I
might be going to the protest because I want them to sign more players. You're going to the protest because you want Kroenkes out. The Kroenkes might sign more players. I've got what I want. You don't. That's the point I'm making.
But I think you will find a lot of the Arsenal fan base, a lot of their problems with the Kroenke stem from the fact that we aren't competing with the bigger teams for the biggest of players.
And the 20+ year drought for a Premier League trophy. And as you said earlier, both of you not winning the champs.
Yeah, exactly.
It's ambition, really.
Yeah, ambition. There you go. And so if you go to a Kroenke out because you want to increase in ambition, your desired increase in ambition can be solved to a degree by, okay, hypothetically speaking, they go and buy Isak, Rodrigo, and any big like centre midfielder in world. I don't know. Let's just say, for example, Bellingham. Yeah, those three players may not win us anything massive in the season that they're signed, but that is enough ambition shown that they actually want us to go and win something. And I feel like that's the problem. People, because let's be real, yeah. And I know that people may say it's in hindsight, but I don't really think it's a hindsight thing. Can anyone really say our ambition was to win the league after signing Calafiori, Mikel Moreno, Neto on loan, and Sterling on loan?
I don't think it was. I don't think there was a proactive push based on the transfer market to do that. More like we're just trying to go for it based on last season.
Yeah, and then to get to January and then to not sign anybody after all of our best players virtually dropping like flies with enough time to solve it with the transfer window, you not sign. Is that the movements of a club that's ambition is to
yeah, but Hooks, let me ask you this on this topic, because I think D made a good point. You're both making good points. Obviously, there's a conflation between what people would want out of this protest. What about the people that just want Kroenke's gone regardless? As far as I'm concerned, you could spend £2 billion on transfers. We got the best team in the world. We want Donny's gone regardless. And then, as you said, what about the people? I'm sure we probably all lean towards that in that we might not necessarily like you, but if you go and get Isak and spend peas, we're kind of good. Yeah. So what if some men are still protesting, others are not? Like, what would you say to that? And also, how long would this process have to go? Because I don't think you're wrong, Hooks, but I more question the movement because I think it would take time. It would take forever to sell this football club. And you know yourself, there might be 100 man with you. We go win 2 games or, do something. Yeah. It's going to be 50 man. Like, who's going to be doing this on a consistent basis?
That's the problem with it, right? That's so the people that want the Kroenkes out, and if the Kroenkes are not out, then it doesn't matter. Then they're going to be very unhappy for a very long time because unless a Saudi brother comes along,
that's what we need,
and goes 7 billion. I see, because the thing is, how do you quantify how much Arsenal is worth? Arsenal has a lot of good brand deals. They generate a lot of money. Arsenal has a fan base that buys into virtually every piece of merch that they drop.
And these man's money is long as well, man. Yeah. So it's worth a lot more to them. Look how patient they were to accomplish to buy the club fully.
That's what people are not factoring in. Everyone's saying protest, but if you don't have a shared ambition or a shared reason for the protest and a clear outcome for the protest, you're protesting for the sake of protesting. Like, if you're protesting to go there and say, all of us there, we want change, for example, with no idea about what change means or what it looks like, you're just making noise. If you're going to get the Kroenkes out, they're not going anywhere because you're protesting. They'll just wait for you guys to get bored to protest. That's just Levy. You think Levy's leaving Tottenham because they've hold up a few banners?
That's the fucking thing about it.
He's not going anywhere because they hold up a few banners. All he's going to do is wait for it to go. Protest over time. They wear off if people can see progression. And that's what they'll do. They'll just wait until they see progression. protesting for a Super League, for example, is a completely different thing, and there's a clear outcome and ambition as to what you want. Everyone's protesting for exactly the same thing. It's very different to just going there and protesting because we're all unhappy that we haven't won the league. It's different because I think we need a couple players left and striker to win the league. You think we need another right winger to win the league. Like DG might think he needs a centre back to win the league. So you can't please all of us when you're protesting. Yeah. You have to protest all together, and when you organize this protest, you have to have an understanding as to how you're going to get the change. And if they decide not to change it, what the next steps are. That's what you've got to do. It's got to be a movement that actually means something that's going to have a clear end goal. If we're just saying, if we're talking about buzzwords and say, yeah, let's protest and hold up signs, then cool, it makes a lot of noise. It gets their attention until they don't care anymore.
Yeah.
That's what it really is.
But also, like, I missed the name, but it's like the last I think it was the last chat that you had up, something about, or maybe we just accept we're not a big club anymore. Or something like that. Yeah, just accept that we are not a big club. Maybe that's the solution, because I go into every season like, we're Arsenal. So my expectations is that we will do something every season. But maybe it's just maybe we're not that club anymore. Maybe that's just what it is, and maybe we have to.
It kills me to say it, but have we ever been that club? Slightly, like, of course we were a big club. We've won trophies.
Yeah, so there's that as well. Like, obviously, we've never been like I said, we've never been a Real Madrid. We've never been at that level winner.
Like, we've never retained a Premier League trophy. I know all of us just want to win it at this moment, but we've never been that.
I'm more interested in winning the Champions League, if I'm honest, because I've had enough of people talking about, oh yeah, you've never won. How can we? But we've got to really break it down, because I know we're doing a lot of nice talk and chat, and it's quite level-headed today. We've never ever won the Champions League.
Only think about one final, man.
Bro, we've never won. How can? Well, Real Madrid have won, was it 16 times or something like that?
Ridiculous amounts.
Or Liverpool won it all 6 or 9 times or something. We've not even.
You saw City did before us, and Chelsea did twice.
Yeah.
Bro, if we carry on the way we're going, Tottenham will win the Champions League before us, bro.
Allow me, man. Allow me.
Bro, listen, we're not getting anything. When last did we get to the latter stages, the real latter stages of the Champions League? We got to the quarterfinal against Bayern Munich, and it was a tight game, whatever. But we didn't think we were going to win. Nobody thought we was going to win. If we're not careful, teams, we're going to have this period of not winning can last another 8 years if we're not careful.
In like 20 plus.
All right. Yeah. You think I'm joking? You think that there was ever a period when we was winning every other season, maybe every 2 seasons, where we thought we'd go 20 years without winning anything? You think Man United ever thought they'd be 15th and 16th and 17th? You think Leeds thought they would be in Championship and League One and all that? You think Sheffield Wednesday and Sheffield United, the teams that were in the Premier League, they ever believed that they weren't going to be there? Wimbledon. Do you think these teams ever believed that they wouldn't be where they are?
I'm getting shook now, man. It's dark. It's getting dark. He's putting a compelling case forward. It's getting dark still.
It's getting very dark.
This is real life. This thing is serious. Do you understand? Like, we've actually really got to realize, we've never won the Champions League in our history. Not even in 1950, 1930, before man was born, 1920, nothing ever. Wolfie can call
Facts, to be fair. Our European pedigree, full stop, is horrible, man.
Nottingham Forest have got Champions League. They've got history behind them.
Truth be told,
Arthur Wenger.
Now, truth be told, though, like, I personally think that for Arteta to get to the quarterfinals of the Champions League in his first time at trying is a very good achievement.
But that's neither here nor there. That's neither here.
I understand big him up for that, but it's an over the line thing.
Neither here.
I hear it over the line thing, but this is the thing, yeah. Okay, can you put the sword in Arteta's back for him not winning the Champions League when sword is not a pause, by the way?
But that's the point I made. That's the point.
Putting things in next man's back, that's crazy.
This is out of control. He's out of control.
You do your thing, that's crazy. I don't know about none of that. Like, I'm just criticizing the manager and praising him. I don't know about sword in next man's back.
Yeah, Can you
Okay.
can you shoot Arteta down? Yeah, for not winning the Champions League.
No, listen.
Not last year. No, but collectively as a club, yeah, I can't draw out Arteta for not winning the champs last year. Like, it was respectable, innit? We didn't get embarrassed, and we all know what happens 9 times out of 10 when we buy in.
But it's no different to what's happening with Amorim or what's happening with Maresca. Because they've come into big clubs, it's just unfortunate that you're the manager. Like, Arteta has done a good job furthermore, actually, for a rookie manager, he's done an exceptional job as a rookie manager to be completely
just an over the line thing now.
But the fact that you haven't got over the line, it's just unfortunate that you're managing Arsenal, where we're used to, or we've had a long hiatus of not winning, and we're ready to win the league. It's just unfortunate, bruv, that Arteta is the manager of Arsenal because he's done an exceptional job, but no one cares.
Yeah.
It's the reality. Yeah. Not even Arsenal fans. Like, I don't care to a slight degree. I like Arteta. I only think the only conversation around Arteta beyond the minor things about things you need to do differently on the coaching front is, brother, are you going to get over the line now? You've top 6 record, all of those things, but stuff needs to be set in stone now. And he's not that he's missed the mark every time, and there's no way around it. Like, we are a bit more competitive probably in the last do you know what? On a consistent basis during the Emirates era, we're okay now. But it's an over the line thing. We all saw last season we were the best team in 2024, all of that jazz. We never won nothing. There's nothing to remember that 20 years from now. Like, it's always being a bridesmaid, but not necessarily the bride, man. Like, and I can't guarantee Arteta going means we're going to do anything. I think the culture at the club's on the floor in that regards.
Yeah, I can't even guarantee that if Arteta was to leave, the Arsenal ownership would go and get a manager better than Arteta. Well, by
they're not gonna go get a statement manager.
Like, I could see them. Do you know what I could see? Yeah, I could see them going and getting Cesc Fabregas.
I don't even know what Hooks is talking about.
Do you know what? Based on how we ended up with Arteta, I could see it. Now, if Hooks is basically saying like that we wouldn't go and get an Inzaghi or something, or a Jabi Alonso or one of them high-ranking managers, flavor of the month guys at the moment.
No way in a million years would they go and get the Arsenal fan base wouldn't even allow Fabregas to come back.
I can't lie. I think they might, you know.
Yeah,
he owns a bit of that Como thing, so I don't think he's leaving anytime soon.
He nearly went mad. He tried to come back as a coaching role.
Wait,
do you remember that?
Wait, sure. Do you think that the fan base wanted Arteta as manager when he came?
No, the fan base didn't want Arteta, but we're more receptive of Arteta. Because
that's a personal thing, isn't it? Because I would have Fabregas back in a
personal thing. It's because he was
in a heartbeat. I have no ill will towards.
You'd have who?
Fabregas. I have no ill will towards Fabregas.
Are you mad or
I don't, but fans do. Like, I'm with you, but we got to be real. There is the fan base would.
No way.
Wait, why would I have
You're crazy.
Wait, why not? Why not?
He left us when we needed him. That's why.
Bro,
he's just a little bit below Van Persie to me.
Bro, no.
Really?
No,
yes.
You're
mad.
I can't lie. That's my guy, man. I can't. Nah. We didn't want to bring him back, bro.
Henry left us as well. So what? Do you not rate Henry?
No. Henry's my killie.
Henry's different.
No. Cesc went back to his boyhood club. He was like, raw Arsenal on a joke thing. They're what they're showing me. You get me? It's not really looking like they're trying.
Would never accept
Fabregas was talking about. He came out recently and said like something about how the players were even being overworked then, and there was no intention to go into the market and ease that. So it was like, why am I going to sacrifice my health and career for these men that have got no ambition to go win anything? So by the way, he went back. And his boyhood, just remember, his boyhood club wanted him. It's not even like
he went Chelsea.
No. He went to Barcelona because his boyhood club wanted him, and then it turned out that it wasn't the vibe, yeah. And then he was available, and he wanted to come back to Arsenal, and Wenger said no.
And he went to Chelsea.
Yeah, because what?
Can you blame a man though? Like, he can't come back to Arsenal. He's got a cut though.
Absolutely. What? So if he went back to Tottenham, would you be because he came back to Premier League, you went to Tottenham? Is that
come on, man. Come on, bro. Like, that's Spurs. That's different.
Yeah, come on, man.
Jose's over there. Champion Premier League. They're gonna win it. Man. He wanted to.
He won the league.
Huh?
He won the league as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, bro, but the game's the game. It's not vindicated.
His move was justified.
Yeah.
So was Ashley Cole's.
Yeah, Ashley Cole, 100%. I personally do not hate Ashley Cole.
I don't have Ashley Cole.
Oh, you're mad.
I don't hate Ashley Cole. I can't lie to you. I don't hate him.
He cannot come back to Arsenal.
Yeah, he can't come back to Arsenal. I'm just saying, I don't hate him.
But I don't have beef with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if he came back to Arsenal, you say in a coaching role, you don't mind.
No.
The game's the game, man. Like, it's where it is, bro.
No, I said he can't.
They don't want to pay you the peas. Them man were doing something different over there. I know it's a pagan thing, but the game's the game, isn't it?
Oh, I get the game's the game, but go back to Chelsea. So that means you accept that. That means then you should really understand Van Persie as well, then, because Van Persie,
100%. 100%, I understand. If you don't remember, Van Persie was the most honest out of all of them, you know. Van Persie said, I'm trying to do X, them man are doing Y. Do you remember when Van Persie left? He said, the club don't want to do what I want to do. Obviously, if Alex Ferguson, them times he's saying something, I hear it, bro, because if you stay off when you're 35 and you ain't won nothing, you're just going to get a testimonial, bro.
Van Persie can't come back to London, let alone Arsenal and North London and all that. You lot are going mad.
He's a pagan, but I can't say I'm beefing him.
Mad. When we need these players, these men left us when we needed them, bro. When we need Nasri, Van Persie, Ashley Cole, Fabregas, Adebayor, all of these men cannot come back to our club. The only people that can come to our club are the players that left towards the end and were like, yeah, this is time for the move on. People like Sagna, people like Clichy, them type of guys.
Sagna snaked us though. He left on a free. He snaked us though.
He didn't snake us.
How's that not snaking? You ran down your contract and cut.
It was towards the end. We wanted him to sign at the time, but it was towards the end of his tenure at Arsenal. But Van Persie left when he was top goal scorer, and he went over there and top goal scorer again, and then won the league.
At least we
got him up for wanting to win the league.
Bro, we waited for Van Persie.
It's not impersonal, surely.
Bro, we waited for Van Persie to come through all his injuries for when he become a top player to leave.
Yeah, but that's not on him though.
That is all on him because you got no loyalty. That shows your character.
But you could argue they're not being loyal to him. I'm finally ready to do this thing, and you're not marrying me with quality.
We've been waiting for him for 8 years. We waited for him for 8 years. How long do you want us to wait for him?
And Alex Ferguson's asking you to go over them sides, win a league, bro.
No, I'm sticking with the people that stuck by me for 8 years, bruv.
Yeah, D's a top Gooner still. He's the top Gooner. D's in full effect now.
I can't believe you, man. Like, don't mind Van Persie.
But I don't mind Van Persie. Like, bro, like if there was who do I hate?
Yeah, he's the biggest wally in the Arsenal history of Arsenal.
He's a snake, but I can't hate you because the club is moving one way and you're on something else.
Yeah, but that's fine. But we could have won it with him. If he had stayed, we could have potentially won it.
Nah, man, we were shit them times, man.
Van Persie can't be leaving Arsenal to go Man United, fam. That can't be happening, bruv.
And I'm even sure he even said something about like, I was on guy in Juventus and that the club rejected the deal and then whatever. Like, I'm shocked, man. Like, you're on a tribal thing with that one, man.
No, it's not a tribal thing. It's the fact that you've got to show loyalty, bruv. Man, you can't. Van Persie's not. You can't come to Arsenal. If you lot found out Van Persie was coming to coach at Arsenal, you wouldn't mind.
It is what it is.
I would mind because we need someone with a CV. There's no point from going from Arteta to someone else that doesn't have a CV in it.
I'm not gonna lie. He's gonna be a part-time striker coach. I'm on that because we can't hit a button door right now. I can't lie to you. Like, I'm on that.
I think you lot probably need to have this convo again with another set of Arsenal fans, blood. Because I can't. This is the first time I've heard that Van Persie is an okay guy. I can't believe
he's calm, bro. Do you know how crystal clear he was when he said I was cutting? I want to do X. The club are doing Y, bro.
He's on the list of men that are in trouble. I don't know what's going on with you lot, fam. He's in major issues. He can't eat, bro. Percy is way over there, fam. No way.
Man.
I can't.
So then, while we're on this, because this is a good point, because obviously we've been trying to fight for a title. We all ask ourselves the questions: the Gabriels, the Sakas, the Salibas. How long do you lot give them? And if they do go to Real Madrid or even some Premier League rivals, I'm going to look at them the same way.
Go this summer.
It depends. It depends where and in what context.
Saka go City or Liverpool.
Throw a scenario at me. Throw a scenario at me.
All right, what would you do? Yeah, what would you do? Yeah, if Liverpool replaced Salah with Saka.
You got 4 more scenario, like price, but what happened? Like, what's the situation? Like, when?
Right, cool. So Liverpool signed Saka for 120 million to replace Salah in the summer.
Now, fuck that. Let's say Saka's deal's running down. He's in the last. He's in that summer of the last year of his deal. He's gone for 70 million, which we know is undercut, but he's gone now. He's selling this summer or not?
No chance, Snake. You're mad. No way. You're going nuts.
So you wouldn't look at Saka as a snake? He
definitely is a snake, and he definitely can't come back. You're going mad.
So leave it to Madrid. I think everyone would be cool with that. Like, it's not that deep.
Players as well. It depends as well on your history with the club. You get it? Like someone like Saka.
Saka was even a United fan. So how far does that history thing go, bro? It's a job at the end of the day, as you know.
Arsenal from young, man. He's grown up in the Arsenal academy from young. His whole family are Arsenal fans. You know what I'm saying? And they've grown up at Arsenal, and he's playing for his boyhood club. He's been brought up well. He was at school, then he got homeschooled, and like, he's been brought up through the Arsenal way all the way through. But if you're talking about like certain foreign players, like I can understand, like when you're not talking about the Fabregas thing, I can understand him going there. But all going back to Chelsea, I'm not on all that. So I can understand certain scenarios. I can't understand the Chelsea thing. You should have said, yeah, I'm not going Chelsea. And I can't understand the Van Persie thing going Man United at that time. That can't happen. I can't understand the Adebayor stuff and the Nasri and all of that stuff. I can't understand all that. I can understand.
Yeah, but as this says, Arsenal never showed them loyalty though. Like we were just selling to the highest bidder then times there.
Yeah, but we showed loyalty in different ways. Like when you're a player, like for example, like Van Persie that's had injuries for years, and then the club stick by you and repeatedly give you new contracts. You see, like how Emma Smith-Rowe was. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's how Van Persie was. And we, as Arsenal fans, started getting to the point where we thought, get rid of Smith-Rowe. Wenger didn't. He said, no. We were like at the point where we were like, get rid of Van Persie, man. He's injured all the time. Get rid of Van Persie. We didn't get rid of him. Wenger said, nope, I'm going to stick by him. As soon as he had 1 full season fit and top goal scorer, he left. How does that make sense? I'm not on that. Van Persie can go, bro. He can go. He can stay over there. Go back to Man United.
Because he wanted, like, this is the thing, yeah. It's ambition. Like, it's not Van Persie's, like, truth be told, yeah, them sticking by Van Persie and not selling him actually proves his point. Because his problem with the Arsenal board was they lacked ambition. They was talking to him about, look how healthy our accounts are and revenue streams and all that. And man was like, raw, but I want to win trophies. You know what I mean? I want to win trophies. Do you get it? So when he's out injured and they're not really bringing in anyone that can challenge him and not upgrading the squad and do you know them ways there, he's like, cool, man's gone to you now. Cool. What are we doing? And you're showing man revenue streams. Right,
but they didn't upgrade the squad when I want
to win trophies, bro.
Like, we were mad shit them times as well.
I can't blame a brother for wanting to win trophies. I can't blame someone.
They did not upgrade the squad when he was on the hospital bed.
Yeah, but that's the club should have, and that's part of the ambition. The club should have.
But Arteta's more ruthless than Wenger, which is the reason why
100%.
Nketiah is getting sold, which is the reason why Smith-Rowe got sold, which is the reason why Vieira's back out there, Tavares is going, Lokonga's going. Arteta's not on all that. He would have got rid of Van Persie ages ago. But you're asking Van Persie, who Wenger stuck by, to not stick by you. That's madness. No way.
Yeah, but what if Donny said, I want to sell you? Like, what if Van Persie said, I want to stay? They said, no, you need to go to Man United. We know how it can go for some football players where they say you're frozen out, etc., etc. What if it was a thing like that and a man said, I want to stay at Arsenal, I'm going United? We don't know.
No, it wasn't that. It was the contract. The reason why we sold him.
Yeah, the contract thing as well.
30 mil or something. The reason why it was 30 mil was because he was in his last year of his deal and he wouldn't sign a new deal. So they chose to sell him instead of him going for free. I wanted them to keep him for free and maybe win the league with him. And then maybe he will sign if we win the league or something. But they wanted him to go. Nah, man. No way, man. That's madness. 30 million for Van Persie in the peak of his powers. No chance, bro. That's madness. Certain players like Caicedo, who are a lot lower profile, decided to sign a deal with Brighton so he could get the club the 100 and so million in the summer.
Yeah, but
Yeah, but you know they're giving him bread though, man.
Yeah, it's different.
We were on that bread thing, like with Cunha at Wolves. We're not gonna do that.
Yeah. Release clause as well. It's different.
Yeah,
30 guys, come on, man. Let's be serious, man.
Like, I'm sorry, yeah. Like,
you will get. That's when you protest. Now you want to talk about protest. If Van Persie comes back, then you protest.
Oh, you want to protest over Van Persie wanting
Definitely.
to win, but you want protest over the club not wanting to win trophies. I hear it.
I do understand protesting about that, but I'm saying you're talking about protesting, but then you're saying on one hand you're protesting for this, and then on the other hand you're saying, yeah, you wouldn't mind if Van Persie came back.
No, I never said I wouldn't mind if Van Persie came. Yeah,
you did. You said the only reason you wouldn't want him to come back is because of experience. Exactly, that's what you said. Yeah. Which so you wouldn't mind him coming back then if he had experience.
I mean, I do mind because what's the point of getting rid of Arteta to put in someone who's
if he had experience, you wouldn't mind him to come back if he had experience, would you?
If he had a CV,
yeah, like, CV. He won loads of stuff. He won Champions League.
Come on. If he won Champions League and everything, then man, I'm not taking him back at the club.
Coming back to the club,
but it is what it is.
It is what it is, man.
What D? Do you rate George Graham? Do you rate George Graham? Do you hold him highly in your regards, George Graham?
Yeah, I hold him highly, but not how high. How high are we talking?
Right, but he's a legend to you, an Arsenal legend. He's part of that, isn't it?
Yeah, to an extent, not that high, but yeah, to an extent.
Are we forgetting who he managed?
Yeah, I know that,
but you're not getting on him.
All that stuff there was a little bit when I was a bit younger, so I can't fully get to grips with how that felt at the time. I was a lot younger in those days. There, Bruce Rioch and all that. That's at the beginning of my Arsenal really belief. You're not talking about when you go to other streams in the next few.
I'll be on one in like 15 minutes.
Ask this question. That's what I want you lot to do. When you're on this stream,
I don't think
if Van Persie was an experienced Champions League winning manager,
would you take him back? Would you take him back at Arsenal?
Yeah.
Ask them.
Let bygones be bygones, man. Let bygones be bygones.
No way. No way.
Oh man! Hey, my last question before I let you lot get out of here, yeah, because we started talking about Van Persie and that. Do you think we have a discipline problem? Because Arsenal have been shown 20 red cards in the Premier League since Mikel Arteta took charge, 5 more than any other club in that time. Is this something to be addressed? I know there's the refs and that, but like, is this something you look into?
I honestly don't know how to respond to this because I don't really know how to quantify a discipline problem when a lot of those red cards don't actually come from ill discipline. If that makes sense. Like, so it's hard to say it's a discipline problem when, I mean, one of them came from 2 yellow cards in like the same phase of play for blocking a throw-in that he didn't even really block, and then a foul which wasn't a yellow card foul anyway. So it's like one of them comes from the Miles Lewis-Skelly one, which was a red card yesterday. I hear it was a red card, but Kudus actually elbowed him in the head. So if Miles Lewis-Skelly just lays down, it's a foul to Arsenal. So to me, VAR should have picked up on that and been like, you know what, it's not a red. So these are the things. Like 2 of them are from incidents of the ball being kicked away, deemed to waste time, second yellows that I've seen nobody get a second yellow for since then.
That's true.
So it's like, and that's not even just in the Prem, that's in world football. So it's like, you know, is it yeah, maybe we do get a bit too many red cards. Like when Xhaka was here, so that when Xhaka was getting bare red cards, I was like, yeah, but Xhaka himself, he was a fiery guy. And it's only when he got moved into his actual position that you saw less of that. So I don't know. Like maybe we do get too many red cards, but to say it's a discipline problem, I'm not sure. I don't know. Maybe. Who knows?
I think we've got a discipline issue, but not when it comes to this. I think more in terms of managing games and seeing things out, but not where it comes to reds and that.
I wouldn't say quite a discipline issue. What I will say is though, Lewis-Skelly is either going to get a lot of red cards or, unfortunately, a lot of injuries by the way he plays. He's very, very, very rough and tough, and the way he is like the way he goes into challenges and the way he moves and the way he goes on. He's going to get into a lot of spats and a lot of potential like red card situations or a lot of potential. That's just the way he plays, and we love it on one hand because it's like yes, like this is phenomenal, but then it's going to harm us in games like West Ham when he's getting a red card and stuff like that. Even the situation with the trip up against Doherty at Wolves, like as much as it's a trip, it should be a yellow card. It's still a studs to the ankle kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? It's not like he's involved a lot, isn't he? He's involved a lot. He's a serious guy, but I feel like he's going to be involved in a lot of stuff, which is two sides.
He's a marked man now as well, man. I'm seeing grown Newcastle fans off, not Newcastle, West Ham doing the pictures and that. Like, I don't know why the man's so hated.
He's just started and he's involved in a lot of stuff. He's involved in Ireland. He's
yellow card before he even stepped on the pitch.
Bro, he's involved in, like, for a young boy, you know, someone that you just feel like, you know, like when you're young and in school, you got that guy that's always in trouble. You know what I mean? There's always that one person that no matter what you're doing, he's just always in trouble. He's always getting kicked out. Lewis Kelly's just always involved in it. He's one of them, man. Red card.
I love it though, man. I wish more of the players were on what he's on.
No, you can't be.
Oh, do I? No,
we used to have that. We had that for a while. Remember when we did the thing, we were too emotional, that whole thing where we're too emotional. Gabriel was like that, and Zinchenko, and
but has Gabriel changed, or has he tailored it and been a bit more cute and clever?
Yes. Gabriel's a completely different player now. Gabriel is because he's maturing. I don't think it's anything to do with him curbing himself. I just feel like he's getting older and he realizes, just get to the point where I don't need to like be like that. But yeah, Lewis Skelly is involved a lot. I feel he's very involved for a young player. He's very, very, very involved, man. I don't know. It might be a good thing, might be a bad thing. I don't know yet. Time will tell. But yes, discipline issue on. Don't know quite about discipline issue. But even Arteta, he's super intense. You obviously DG Hawks. You might go to games. Arteta's a maniac on the sideline.
Yeah,
he's an absolute madman on the sideline. Like when you see it,
like every kick with the boys.
But you realize, wow, you're actually crazy. You know what I'm saying? He's actually a crazy guy. He's always
if you're employing pickpockets, you gotta be taxed, man. He's not a sane individual, man.
You know what? He's not sane. And the thing is, I think for them to have hired him, he must have been insane in the presentation.
Yeah, it must have been a madness.
There's no way you're hiring a manager that's inexperienced unless he shows you craziness that makes you believe in him, innit?
But that's why why Pep probably hired him, because Pep had him secured to that role at Man City while he was still playing football. Because obviously,
the maniac as well. Like Gooner, Emery, Pep.
It's the modern day now.
Actually, Pep's insane though as well. Like Pep's a different level.
Yeah, Pep's tapped.
Tapped. He's on the pitch coaching
the other team.
I've never heard of a manager coaching other players after they've lost on the pitch. I don't even know you spoke to them. Man, giving them this is how you beat my team, and I'm like,
in all fairness, fairness, it was Adama Traore, and Adama Traore is from La Masia, innit? I'm pretty sure Adama Traore was in La Masia when he was coaching.
How about Cole Palmer?
Yeah, he's doing it to everyone.
Cole Palmer came through the City Academy. So
what? What does that mean?
Isn't it? He's just that type of passionate. You get me? He never wanted Cole Palmer to leave.
You're just saying random things. How do you know that?
What?
How do you know he didn't want him to leave? I don't understand how you came up with that.
What do you mean? It's widely known that he never wanted Cole Palmer to leave.
Widely known from where? Where have you seen that? Just saying random sources.
Bro,
he didn't want Cole Palmer.
I hear it.
Cole Palmer to leave. Cole Palmer left.
Okay, D. I have to go by the things that are reported in the world. I'm sorry, I don't have.
I'm saying, how do you know he didn't want him to leave? How do you know he didn't want him to leave?
It was been reported, bro. It's been reported, bro.
So Cole Palmer left because he
wanted more game time. Pep couldn't promise him the game time that he wanted, obviously. but he didn't want Palmer to leave. It's just one of them things where, I can't. Yeah, okay, cool. If you want to go, you can go. I don't want you to go, but you want to go. So cool. I'm not gonna block you from going to what you want, innit? It's simple, bro. I thought this was widely known. Like, it was reported at the time.
I didn't mean you. I thought you meant it as in like he was going to play him and he wanted him to stay and he would give him what he wanted. No. That's what I thought you meant, like not wanting to leave. I didn't know you meant like he just said, oh yeah, I'd rather you stay kind of thing. Of course. That's how most managers do, isn't it? He didn't mind Cole Palmer leaving. Trust me.
They made peas on it, man. People, it's been a great live stream, man. Hooks has got to go off and do another live stream, so we're going to end it here. I'm sure you lot agree and disagree with a lot of what we've said. So, yeah, make sure you're leaving a comment. Check out the title, man. Make sure you're following Halftime Hooks. Make sure you're following Fam Zone TV. What content you lot got to come out if you got any in a bit or whenever?
I dropped live tomorrow. Yeah, a couple lives tomorrow. I'm going to be there early in the morning. Yeah, I dodged it. I dodged talking about it over the weekend, but early tomorrow morning, I'm going to talk a bit about what happened to Arsenal and this Liverpool thing. And
what time?
Obviously, I don't know, maybe 8 a.m. Yeah.
Desire, passion.
I said I might jump on, but I don't know about that.
You might jump on. All right, if you're thinking of jumping on, let me know a time that works. And
I'll jump on the morning. I'm gonna start jumping on these morning ones as well, man.
All right, well, let me know. And DG, you're more than well. Obviously, I know busy guy, all of that, but you're more than welcome.
It was such a normal stream as well. It was too normal for Hooks.
He started his asking shit again, man. He started it.
Here we go.
I went there yesterday as well, but we're here. Right, Hooks, you have some crimes to answer to. So, people, make sure you're subscribing to them and turning on notification bells. They'll be there at whatever time. We're always on each other's platforms. So, yeah, make sure you're following on Trench Talks on Fridays as well, man. And yeah, man, I'm gonna let the man get out of here. Like, comment, subscribe in a bit, man. Safe. Always